Welcome everybody. Today is February the 7th. We're going on to the webinar number 2 for the Intuitive Coach Training Program. Thank you everybody who has joined us live, and thank you everybody who's watching the recording. We're super appreciative that you're here for this journey of tonight's class and the journey of whatever you're up to on the spiritual, mental, emotional journey that we're all on. So welcome. So I'm Dr. Dibby. Y'all know me, or a lot of people know me. I'll just say hi. I'm one of the co-facilitators of the Intuitive Coach Training Program, along with my partner in crime. That's what I call you, Lynette.
Oh yeah, no, I feel the same way.
Lynette Brown, and we're, as you guys will get to know us through this webinar series, we're different, similar, opposite, which is what actually works really well for this program. We have a huge amount of love and respect for each other. Back and forth. So we've been working together for 12 or 13 years now. I started working with her when my son started kindergarten, and he graduates university this year, or graduates high school this year. So that should give you an idea. You do the math. And yeah, wow. She's incredibly, and I'm incredibly blessed to know her. I partake my entire business to Lynette. Like, she is the reason I do what I do. Otherwise, I would still be hiding behind a rock. And I 100% mean that. Not a part of me doubts that. Every day, I know that the reason I am alive and doing the work I do is because of her and the influence she's had on my life. So that's my introduction of Lynette, and I'll give it to you, Hun, if you want to introduce yourself.
Well, for those of you who know me, I'm speechless. That's very rare for me. Thank you, Divvy. That just touched my heart so much. Thank you. It's so nice to connect with you guys, and those of you who are watching the recording who I haven't met. I'm excited to connect with you tonight and to do some playing around, to play around a little bit, so you can get a sense and a feel about how we do things and the way we, work with energy processes and stuff in ICT. Like I said, I'm Divvy's partner in crime in the ICT world, and Divvy is, as you guys feel her, as you know, and you've seen her, she's slotted for big things in this world. You know that, you can feel that, you feel her pull. And this is an authentic woman who walks her talk. And you can trust her, hands down, you can trust her. Right? I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't trust her. Right. And we literally, in this event, we literally have each other's backs. And those of you who do decide to sign up in the Intuition Weekend, you'll get an opportunity for us to see how we collaborate and play together. And we just have the most fun, because this is all about, it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be struggle. Right. And yeah, no, go, baby. That's what I'm saying.
For those of you in the Shift Network class, which are a few of you, one of the most common feedbacks I get is how I make it fun. The reason I make it fun is because of Lynette. She has taught me how interesting can be fun and not scary. And I know a lot of teachers teach it very serious. Lynette has taught me how to teach it fun and play with it. And she's the queen of fun. So sorry, Lynette, I just need to add that.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a common feedback I get from the Shift Network is you make it fun and playful. So I want to tell the,
and that says a lot about you, Divvy, because it's not, guys, this is while it's a potent and powerful subject, it's not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy to teach it from a perspective of holding it lightly and playing and being in that perspective, right? So it really is, that's one of the things that's so great about our partnership. We truly can do that. And that's what, and we can also, toe the line too, right? Yeah, so thanks, Divvy.
And I want to introduce you to Sharon. Sharon was in our first, so this week we have Sharon joining us. I sent out a bunch of emails to old grads, and we could have overloaded you with like 100 grads. Honestly, everyone would have come back and said hello. But we kind of selectively choose so that we can also teach. But Sharon was in our first year ICT, and so Sharon's going to share her experience of ICT and what her life is like now. And this is more just so that you can understand what somebody else went through. And Sharon, you're in your first year, which is 5 years ago, right?
Yeah, so, 2018.
Yeah. Go for it, Sharon. And then if anyone has any questions for her, feel free to type it in or ask, and that will take you into the process tonight.
There's like, yeah.
Yeah. So hi, I'm so I love listening to the two of you talk about each other, because I get to witness both of you, and everything you've said about each other is so true. So I took ICT in 2018, and it was the first year, and honestly, changed my life. I had been waiting for a course like this to come up. I had sort of been waiting for an intuitive coaching course. There was nothing out there. And I waited for about 2 years because I had been laid off from my job. I have 3 university degrees. I was in sort of the corporate public health kind of sector, working, grinding, and got laid off, and knew I didn't want to go back. I didn't want to go back to what I was taught was the normal. And so I was waiting for some kind of intuitive coaching kind of course. And in 2018, there it was. And I had already worked with Divi for a while, and I was coaching with Lynette. So it was perfect timing for me in my life. And the way I knew that was I could feel the pull. I could feel the energy of excitement. I was a little bit nervous. I think I probably signed up the week before because I was nervous, but I knew I was going to sign up, because that, when I listened and talked to Divi and Lynette, I could feel that this is what I needed to do, not just wanted to do, but needed to do for my whole mind, body, spirit. So when I joined, and I tell people this all the time, when I joined, I had made $7,000 the year before doing my cranial sacral practice. And I was determined to be a Reiki practitioner and a cranial sacral practitioner, and I was going to make money at it. And I didn't, because there were so many aspects that I was missing. So much of the energy, the trusting, the knowing who I am. So when I joined the class, I literally had gotten some money for Christmas, put it towards the class. But in being in the class, I actually manifested a trip to China, which was like $10,000. I manifested a new computer, and I went to Sedona on a weekend retreat. And like, if you ask my left brain, like my analytical brain, how that happened, I have no idea, because I would one day look at my bank account and there wouldn't be enough money. And I would literally look at it the next week and there'd be like an extra $10,000. And like, I honestly, there was something in the universe that would make these things happen. And now, sometimes I would say, well, it's just I didn't read it right. But I know that's not true. So things would happen because I was in the course. So the money always came. So if money is sort of stopping you, honestly, being in the course, you learn how to work with the energy. You learn how to work with the energy of money, how to work with the energy of manifestation, how to clear your blocks and beliefs, right? And in such a way, like, going through the year, the 9 months, the year, it was a year at that time. I think now it's 9 months, and it's going through that 9 months. You don't even realize the shifts and changes that are happening. And every once in a while, you kind of stop and you go, oh my goodness, look at where I'm at. And so after I took the course, I started my coaching business like right away. I was ready. I jumped in. I had never had a coaching client before. I did cranial sacral therapy and I did some Reiki, but I didn't do coaching. And the thing that I learned through that whole course was how to trust my divine voice, how to trust my intuition, how to feel it, how to know it, how to move forward, and how to ride the wave. So it was a transformational experience personally, and it was transformational in my business career. And so now I basically coach full time. I make more money doing this now than I did when I had a full-time job, which if you would have told me that, 5 years ago, I would have said, there's no way, and it's been a process. I will not lie. I work on my stuff every week, but you know what? The perspective that I have on the ups and downs in life has completely shifted. I won't say that I welcome all the downs and all the, the grinding, but it's not a grind anymore. It's a way of life. It's a process. It's who I am. And that to me is priceless, you know, and again, even like I was telling Lynette today, you know, this month, for some reason in January, my MasterCard bill was literally maxed out. And I had never done that before in my life. But for some reason, it was maxed out. And I was like, okay, Sharon, you can go into fear and you can really try to make that money. You can really, like, you know, borrow from this person and do this and go crazy in your head and get in the washing machine. Or you can just settle in to what you know, use all the tools you've learned, use the universal laws, and trust, because there hasn't been a month in my life that I haven't paid it. So why would this be different? And guess what? And again, don't ask my left brain how this happened, but I paid that maxed out credit card bill this month. And I'm just like, and I just let it, like, I just trusted and allowed, right? And
she's not making this up,
I'm
guys.
not making it up.
Ask her to say, we just, you know, did right. You just asked her to speak to them, to money and, you know, what the course was, right? No leading whatevers. And these are the kind of miracles, you know, Course in Miracles talks about this, right? These are the kind of miracles that we can expect with detachment, right? That when we do and live this work.
Yeah.
Right? Keep going, Sharon.
Well, and I just want to say that, you know, having two teachers like Divvy and Lynette, again, I have taken course after course, and I've been in groups, I've participated, I've taught, but Divvy and Lynette bring such a unique mixture, you know, like, you know, and I take almost every course that Divvy and Lynette offer, because I just love being in the energy of it, because they teach from their heart and they actually teach intuitively. So I'm not only listening to learn, I am in the energy, and being in their energy, I learn how to coach and how to teach by just being with them and observing and being in that energy. And it really is some days magical. Like I have clients now, and after a client call, I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe the transformation in this person. And for me to be able to witness that and be even that much of a part of it is a miracle. And it, like, every day I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing this work. I can't believe it. Like, honestly, the girl who, you know, got straight A's in school and was into science and biology, if you would have told her she was going to be an intuitive coach and a medium and do psychic readings, you know, like, it just blows my mind still. So I'm so grateful to both of you. And like Divvy said, I coach with Lynette weekly, and that is how I am here. Like, you know, both of you have had such an influence in my life, and I just honor you. So thank you. And if anyone has questions, feel free to ask.
Seriously, anybody have questions for Sharon? And don't hold back. Seriously, she's totally open and she'll be honest.
Oh yeah.
We have 2 people next week as well that are joining us from previous years. So if anyone's got anything.
The other bonus about this course that I know no other course has is the intuitive weekend. And I've been privileged to, and this last September, the class that went through it, like, when they walked into the room, I was like, oh my goodness. And when they left, I was like, wow, oh my goodness, because their intuition, you know, seeing their intuition just open up, and in 3 days, the transformation and the confidence they had in what they were now doing was like magic. I see Ramona has her hand up.
Thanks, Sharon. Yeah, I thought 2 was like hiding there. Go ahead, Sharon. Go ahead, Ramona. Oh, you're muted.
Oh, get unmute. Yeah, unmute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. I used to be shy. I'm not anymore. And I always ask questions.
Good for
So,
you. Love that.
so Sharon, you was explaining, I wanted to make sure I heard everything correctly. You were saying that you, before getting into the coursework, you had done Reiki, or was that after? Okay.
No, it was before.
So tell me how with that, because those are everything that I'm interested in as well, you know, all those kind of things. But I know I have an intuitive, you call it intuition, I call it talking to my spiritual guides. And it's something that I have taught others, and I'm very strongly, I feel very aligned with my guides. So I was trying to find out with you, were you aligned with your guides beforehand? Did you need the course more to give you the courage to connect in more? Like, what was that like for you, and how has it impacted your Reiki? That's a lot of questions in there, I know.
Yeah, no, it's such a great question though, Ramona. Such a great question. I love talking about energy. So before I was doing Reiki and I was doing cranial sacral therapy, and I had started sort of moving away from Reiki and doing more cranial sacral. And what I found was when I was actually with the clients and I was holding their head or their sacrum, I could feel that there were emotions stuck. And so I would start to talk to them and I'd say, you know, it feels like there's some anger in here. Like, what's going on in your life? And I started doing sort of intuitive coaching before I even knew what it was.
Okay.
But I didn't know that I was, you know, I didn't really know that I was talking to my guides. I knew something was happening, but I didn't really know what it was or how to kind of harness it and use it in a more succinct, better way. Right. So what the course gave me was it gave me more confidence. It gave me kind of like, I had so many aha moments, like, oh, that's what was happening. Oh, I get it. Oh yeah, you know, okay, I have my guides now, and oh wow, there's a new guide. I had no idea. Oh wow, I can actually have a money guide. Oh my goodness. You know, so I learned, so I had this much, and ICT built on it, right? Because we all come in from a different place. And so we all, the knowledge, the skills that we take are unique to us. Even though we've taken an ICT course, it built on what I already knew, and it filled in the gaps on the things I didn't know. Okay. And honestly, you know, Reiki's great, but Reiki's, you know, in my opinion, from all the stuff I've taken, it's very basic and foundational. This is going to build on that, right? Knowing your guides, absolutely wonderful. Lynette and Divi have so many different tools and ways of approaching things. Like every week I learned something new. Every week I went back and there were things that I could practice in my own life, right?
Thank you.
So yeah. Hope that answers your question.
Yeah, you gave me more. so thank you for that. I appreciate that, because there's a lot that I'm processing myself. So I appreciate your candor. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're all about it, right? Authentic, right? Whatever, we're nothing to hide, and there's not, you know, there's no wizard behind the curtain. We are the wizards.
The other thing that I love about Divi and Lynette is they're always learning themselves. So they're always bringing in new things. So, you know, you guys are actually learning more than what I learned, because in 5 years, Divi and Lynette have also expanded, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's true. So true.
Oh yeah.
I'm just going to read this question, and she just didn't want her thing on, which is perfect. She writes, hi, I felt like when I didn't have a job before Rogers, just over a year ago, Rogers is the company, I felt like everything has always worked out before. So why would it be any different this time? And it did work. The thing I don't understand is my love life and why it's been so bad since I left my last ex in 2006. LOL. So I assumed the program could help me understand some of these things. I wonder still. Also, do people take the course and not be a coach? I don't really have the desire to be a coach, but I love the subject. I'm also curious about how much it costs. Usually I have my full name and photo, but I don't tonight. Which is perfect. Yeah. So do you want to grab that, Lynette, or do you want me to?
Well, no, I mean, I was wondering, I'd love to hear what Sharon has to say,
Oh, good idea.
you know?
So again, when we're learning to be a coach, we have to go through everything ourselves. And what the course taught me was how to go through what I needed to go through myself. And so in 2015, I had just met a new partner, and I was still clearing my ex-husband stuff. And so going through that course, it's like I could have not gone in the course and kind of gone through my stuff with my ex-husband, and it probably would have taken me 10 years. But when I was in the course, it's like turning the volume up and things speed up a little, and you learn how to clear as you're going through something, how to be present with what you're going through, as opposed to taking forever and it being up and down and like this all over. You learn how to kind of go like this. So for me, I got married to the man I met in 2015, and this course and all the work I've been doing with Divvy and Lynette 100% has made the relationship I have now 100 times better than any other relationship I've been, because the relationship with myself changed so much, right? Yeah.
Healing too. And to answer your question about what if you don't want to be a coach, that's a lot of people start this course from the perspective of just personal transformation. Just, I want to work on myself. And that's why Sharon said, in order to be a great coach, you have to work on yourself. And it's interesting, right, Divvy? We go through this and people are like, no, I want to just do this by myself. And then once they get to the intuition part, once they get through that, they're like, I want to do this. And we're like, awesome. Like, no pressure. And there's a lot of people who add this to what they already do, right? From all walks of life, right?
And the other thing I would add to that is, I think a lot of people have those stories about relationships. I know I do. And I till today, thank Lynette and Sharon. Sharon's a friend of mine, and Lynette a lot for helping me through my baggage, my stuff, right? And it never ends. But what I would say to that question is, the amount of stuff that we lug around from our parents, not their fault, our ancestry, all of that is massive. And I mean, Lynette and I can give you examples. We have a woman who was in Sharon's course the year she did ICT. And she was a woman I had started working with 3 years prior. And this is about relationships. And so she was married to somebody, and they had split up, but he was in addiction, and that relationship just wasn't clearing. It was hanging over her shoulder. That a 6-year-old or 7-year-old together. Then after the course, just out of the blue, she gets up and she moves to Bali. Off she goes. And she had full custody of the child. Off she goes. And then after being in Bali for no more than 6 months or a year, she met her now husband, and they now have a new child together. And like she says, it's all because of ICT. The ICT course, doing it weekly, and we're in your face weekly for 9 months, in your face with love, only can cause transformation. So if you're holding on to something from 2006, I can totally understand. But, and like Sharon said, you can do this for decades, or you can go, I'm done, I'm ready to move. And, it does work. So, and regarding the cost of the course, maybe we can talk about that at the end of the class after we do money, but if that's okay, just so we can, because I know that was a question that came in, just so we can address any other questions before I sideline. Cool.
That's perfect. And
Rhonda's hand is up. Go for it, Rhonda.
Thank you. Question for Sharon. First, I just wanted to say that, yes, I'm interested in this course for my own healing, and also hoping to become a coach at the end of all of this too. And thank you, Sharon. I love your story too, and how it's helped you. But I was just wondering, like, how long did it take you to kind of get your coaching business going and building? Like, did you really have to work hard to get the clientele? And I guess it's that fear thing coming in for me.
That's a difficult question to answer, because as you're going through it, you're clearing your stuff as you're going, and then you come to the end of the course, and you're like expecting everything to sort of suddenly flow in. And what I realized when I ended the course was I was still on the journey of clearing enough. So the clients came in a little bit slower than I in my brain wanted, but then there was a shift, and the shift was in myself, right? And the shift was I suddenly let go of the outcome. I started trusting my intuition more about how to attract clients. I started to trust. And then suddenly I had 3 clients sign up for 3 months weekly, all within a week. So it's all the energy, right? And so it, that's a difficult question to answer,
Right. Okay.
right? Because when I was ready, the clients came.
Right.
So so it can be overnight. It can take, 3 or 4 months. It can take 6, depends where you're at.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Rhonda, I'll answer that question for myself too, just because I did start my own business. I'm joking. Lynette's old. I'm joking. I tease you when I say that. Lynette's a bit older, and her business started ages ago. Teasing Lynette. But mine started just over a decade ago, Rhonda. And so it hasn't been that long. And it really was exactly what Sharon said. When you turn that within yourself, then all of a sudden people start showing up. And we have had people in the actual training in the 9 months who right after we just went to Sedona this last year, 2022 in September. And then when we came back, 3 people were already coaching 2 weeks after we got back home. We're like, what? And I guess nowadays with this thing called
certification,
I know with this thing called Instagram, like they just put out, I did intuitive coach this weekend. And next time you Rhonda, they had clients. And I'm like, Lynette, do you remember that? And I was like, yes. Where did all these people come from?
They weren't afraid. They weren't afraid. They're like, hey, this is fun. Let's do this. What have I got to lose?
Yeah. So some people want to start right away, but like Sharon said, I had to do the switch too. And it took me a few months. Like after I started working with it, it was like a few months. And I was like, oh, and it's like, you actually go, oh, click, click, click. And then boom, 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 boom. And it is crazy. It's crazy and fun. And when you start to work with energy, and that's one thing that I teach, that the majority of the class, not the majority of say it that way. The majority of the class is energy. It's understood because we've all heard everything's energy, right? We've heard that. But the 9 months is actually application of that. And you realize about month 3, month 4, I am energy. I did create that. Like you actually start to see how everything, and that's where it really starts to get cool. And you're just like really living the laws and going, wow. And like, if I shift that, oh, that shifted, that shifted. That's really super fun. Like it's super fun. So people do in the course and after, but I think what Sharon said was so bang on. My head wants and what's occurring, right? Isn't always a match. And then other people, it's like, it's not right or wrong. Everyone has their own journey. So that answer.
One of the things I like to add to that is a quote from Lord of the Rings, and that is something Gandalf said: a wizard always arrives precisely when they intend. And so with that, when you are ready, when you truly are like, okay, I'm, and we go through this in the course, but this is all about service. This is about loving the people that you're working with and being of service. To support people, to have whatever it is they want, to have big lives, to have great relationships with their families, with their children, with their parents, to heal, forgive, and be abundant, right? And that comes when we believe we can do it, right? And it's beautiful too, because you get so excited, and then then you got to get a waiting list. Then you have to have those conversations about self-care. Stop doing 20 million readings in one day, Divvy. Divvy, stop doing 25,000 events on one weekend. Divvy.
She's not talking to me. She really
No,
isn't.
not at all.
She's on my mailing list, and I sent her an email a couple weeks ago with all the events. She said she got dizzy reading it.
Girlfriend, right?
Yeah, I'm getting better. Yeah.
Well, and this is what Sharon mentioned this earlier. This is what Divvy and I love about this is we're really ourselves. We're not saying that we know what we've done to get to where we are, to have the experience we've had. And we know that we've had to clear our own stuff, and that our stuff is not just like yours. We all have our own trauma and garbage and beliefs and all that good stuff. And it really is about, do you want it? Do you want it? Because if you really want to feel good, if you really want to change your life, then the work, the processes, the things we play at are going to be completely irrelevant, because you are like that horizon. That's where I'm in, right there. Right. So.
And I also just want to address something that I think you said, Rhonda, was, did you have to grind it out and work hard? No, because that's the other thing. I did a complete paradigm shift in how I work. Like, I grew up, with the belief that you had to work hard for your money. You had to overgive. You had to, like, there were so many shoulds and had tos. And that was the greatest gift of the ICT program, was looking at those beliefs and going, oh my gosh, I don't need those anymore to be successful. I can have a spirit business from the heart and go back to my why. When I start to go into fear around money, it's like, why am I doing this? To be in service. Seeing my clients open up. And I work with a lot of ICT graduates, and wow, just wow. And I had one client who I coached before she took ICT, and then she came back after ICT, and like the difference was palpable. Like coaching her before, I couldn't, like, I couldn't coach her because she was like so in her stuff. She came back afterwards, and it's like every session is boom, 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 boom. She is clearing stuff. She is like, because she took ICT seriously and was working on herself, and like the transformation in a year. Honestly, I should write a book about it, just with this one client.
Ooh, there you go. Guidance, fine guide. Ding, 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 ding. Folks, you saw it here first. You saw it here first. Write it down, Sharon. I'm
writing it down.
Write it down.
Why do you make me say these things?
Right. That's what being open, a divine vessel is, right? It just comes through.
Oh, man. Yeah.
And Ramona, your hand's up. And then I'll grab the question that came in online.
Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, good.
Go ahead, Ramona. Oh, you're muted, sweetie. Ramona, are you there? Oh, there you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good to
Okay.
go.
All right. I was waiting for the little box to tell me unmute. Okay, so any one of you ladies can answer this question, I believe, because I was listening to Sharon, and thank you so much for coming, Sharon. You're very enthusiastic, and you're answering a lot of my questions. But when I listened to Sharon talk and I listened to Divi, so I just want to be clear, because I'm already a coach, and so I'm looking for more of working with clients from the spiritual space. And okay, I see you saying yes, Lynette. So that's something that this course will assist me more with. And then, so what percentage of it is, I have a feeling I already know the answer to this, but I'm gonna ask it anyway.
So why don't you tell us the answer before you ask the question, and then we'll see.
Then we'll see, right?
Practice your intuition right here on the spot.
Well, it's what I'm hearing from me is that it'll be my takeaway, because what I'm asking about is a percentage of it, that spiritual work, this percentage that's coaching. And so for what I'm hearing, it's more spiritual, working on the intuition than it is on actual coaching.
Right.
So, okay.
It's energy and intuition, right? It's all, working with energy and intuition, all in the confines of building, right? Yeah.
Okay, that's why as I got ready to answer, there's like tap tap. This is, this is the answer.
tapped in.
I asked for the avenues to help me elevate myself even more. And so this is why I'm looking at everything. So don't worry, Divi, when we get back to shift, I won't ask questions all day.
Oh no, I love your questions. I absolutely love them. There's just a lot of people who have a lot of questions, but yeah, I love them.
I mean, if you have a question, it's in the container. So
Exactly.
whether it's someone who's watching the recording or who's on live, and that's just being of service to the container.
And Ramona, and I'll grab the question from Andrew in a sec. And no, it's not Andrew, it's her name on here. I knew your question was going to be what percentage is spiritual. I was going to say 100. She knows the answer. Because one thing, like I work with a lot of coaches, like business coaches. The other day, somebody came to see me who was like one of the head coaches in Canada, business. I'm like, and Lynette's taught me not to be intimidated by them, right? Because they're no different. 8-figure income guy coming to see me, right? And so learning not to get intimidated. And when I showed him, it was a 20-minute intro, Ramona, and we were like just gabbing away about what was going on in his relationships. And when he saw what I showed him, it wasn't me, it was the divine. He was like, his jaw went like this. Got a text from 10 minutes later, when can I work with you, right? But see, it's because it's from them. I always joke, it's not from me, right? It's from them. It's never from me. And I find, and Rona, and I know you know this, given what you do, there's more of a calling for that than ever before. People want to know why, how, what they created this life. Can I shift this? Can I heal? That's the answer, capital letter yes, right? Course in Miracles teaches us this, and this is going to teach you how, it's just like how to work with all those energies, all those shadows, all those stories, and how to be that energy of the divine so that you can help and serve others. Do the same. So, okay. The question that came in was, and I know it's not Andrea, it's the name that's written there, but she wrote down, can the program help you heal physical pain that may be mind manifested? Capital YES. That's actually a lot of, so just so you know, Andrea, no, that's her name. That's actually how the program started. I used to teach purely classes on healing. People would come to see me. Oh, it is Andrea. I thought it was you. I would teach classes purely just on healing. Healing physical issues from mental and emotional. That's how it started, like way back before ICT developed, Andrea. And people would come to me with back pain, multiple sclerosis. We had clients in Sharon's year with MS. We've had clients in previous years with chronic this, chronic that. And then they went, oh, this is that story, that emotion, that story from my mom, that subconscious. And then by the end of the year, things would go crack open. So yes, 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 yes. Can it help feel physical? Yes, 100%. Yes.
All of mind, body, and spirit.
Yeah.
It's like we have to have that, Trinity in there, right?
I'm just gonna see if there's any other questions before we let Sharon be. No, Sharon didn't work through MS. I had another client the first year who worked through MS. She's now a coach. She's not going to be on next week. So I sent her an email. She can't make it. But yes, we have had clients with MS take this program and no longer need medications or anything like that. So yes, we have people do that. So.
Sharon, is there anything that comes to you that you want to share? Like possibly maybe you're tuning in that someone on the recording, who's watching the recording, will have a question or anything that you feel we didn't cover?
No, I the only thing that keeps coming in, so I guess it's a tap on the shoulder to say is sort of the is the course spiritual or coaching? You can't really separate them, like the spirit. I now am a spiritual coach because that's how I live my life. And so they're not separate anymore. And I wouldn't even know how to separate them because everything I do is is just spiritual. Like that's who I am. That's who I want to be. That's how I want to show up in the world. And so my coaching comes through the spiritual part of me. And again, there's no other program like this that I've ever come across where I've become the spiritual coach. I've become the spiritual being. You hear that sort of tagline, we're all spiritual beings, or we're all spiritual beings in a human form or whatever. Well, yeah, I used to go around saying that. Like now I know what it means to be a spiritual being. Like I really do, because you learn to embody that part of you and then you coach from there, right? So.
The other thing too that I feel called to add to that is that I want to express that it's not just all pie in the sky woo wooey either.
No.
Grounded in science. Divi's very powerful in the way she presents
Yeah.
it. She shared it in our book. I mean, very much about, I come from a legal background, and like Sharon, she comes from a business world too. So we're very grounded beings, very logical, sometimes too logical beings. So we, it's important to us to be very grounded in this teaching. So this isn't one of those things where we're going to ask you to just believe and put a smiley sticker on your gas tank and expect there to be gas in your car.
No.
Now we're going to say, no, there's this universal law called action. And where are you moving to create that energy of attraction, right? To have that gas in your tank. It's not by sitting back on the sofa, right?
Yeah, and there's no, again, spiritual bypassing. There's no, just, be happy. Like that's not what, to me, that's not what spiritual means. That's not what doing spiritual work is. This is everything, and it is so grounded. I've never been so grounded in my life. And the thing is that I now know what that means. I can tell the difference between when I'm grounded and ungrounded. I now have the tools that if I get ungrounded, I know how to bring myself back. I have the tools to share with my clients so that they can get grounded, So yeah, thanks, Lynette. That was a great explanation too. Yeah.
Somebody asked me privately, how many people take it every year? So every year about, we have anywhere from 20 to 30 that do the course every year, give or take. It's somewhere in that range. And we've been doing it for 5 years. So that's the math. 110 or 50 people have taken it.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I said when I started, I could have sent out 100 emails, would have had like 99 RSVPs. We've been too many people to have one here. So we just select a few people that we would love to have on. So
yeah. And who are, again, it's not, cherry picking. It's the, the people who are aligned, Dippy and I were talking about, it's like, oh, boom, boom, boom. These people, boom.
We'll get the head. So,
right. Who are honest, right? It's my big thing.
Other comments, questions before we give Sharon a break, and then Lynette can take us into a process.
Okay. Anybody else? Any questions?
And you can ask after Lynette's process too. We'll answer the question about the course.
Well, I don't know. It's going to probably take you like.
Oh yeah. Okay. Do you want to take us into it? Because we still have, in 2 weeks, we have another webinar. So
yeah. But if you feel like it, but if you have any questions, don't hesitate.
Did you design it together? Yes, we did.
Yes.
We did. Yes. And it's morphed and shifted and evolved. Like
and both of our guys and all of our kids, and it's all their energies. Right. And then the beautiful people who hang around and support us, like Sharon, right? All that big, yeah. We did design it together. I like it. Okay. Nothing else? Good. Everybody feels good. Okay. So what we got when Divi and I were chatting about tonight, what the guidance we received is, we want to show you a little bit about how we work with money in the ICT conversation, right? And we work with money because if you're going to have a business, or if you're going to be in human existence, it is something you're going to come into touch with, right? Unless you're, a monk living up in a monastery, then this is irrelevant to you, right? So you can option out. So one of the things that we know, because everything is energy, right? That includes money. So money is energy. And we, in the money module, in working with, and throughout the course, and working with the energy called money, we start working with deliberately directing it, right? Finding the origin story, right? What's my origin story? How can I redirect? How can I change my origin story? My origin story of where I am right now is not where I want more, I want to expand more, then I need to shift my origin story. I need to change my beliefs, my paradigm about what, where I'm thinking, right? So we do this with energy techniques through meditation and visualization, but actual energy. So in the course, if Divi's leading, you might, if those of you who like, okay, I'm not going to close my eyes in meditation, I'm going to see what's really going on, which is fine, right? You will see while Divi's leading a meditation, I will be holding the space and energy. And those of you who are open in your clairvoyance, you'll be able to see the work that I'm doing in supporting Divi as she leads you through a journey, through an experience, through a meditation or a visualization, through the energy work, right? And she does the same for me when I'm facilitating or leading, right? So it's truly a collaborative, it is definitely a we space creation, right? Okay, so let's sink in and relax, right? So what we're going to do, what we're going to work on tonight is we're going to work on repatterning your old beliefs that keep you stuck or keep you in the same experience. Those of you who have ever said, oh, I can always make this amount of money, but I can't make this amount of money. Or I always seem to, when I get extra money in, then something happens to my car and it goes out, right? Those are all signals and signs that your connection, your beliefs about money, your paradigm is not, I don't know, let's say balance, is like it's sabotaging you, okay? So relax your body, just take some deep breaths in and out. And we're just going to shift limiting beliefs into empowering beliefs. It's going to be effortless. It's going to be easy and relaxing. So just relax your body and put it into a comfortable position. Relaxing your arms, your shoulders, your chest, so you feel comfortable. And adjusting your legs and your feet, where they feel incredibly relaxed and are supporting your shoulders and your back. And bring your attention now to your head and neck, allowing them just simply by focusing on them to release any tension or energy being held there. And as you do this, you're allowing your jaw to relax as well. And breathing deeply in, just holding this for a moment. Sense your body. Feel your body. Feel your feet, the back of your head. And notice if there's any areas of tightness or restriction, just breathe into them and find the comfort. Bring in the energy of comfort and ease by just imagining it, by breathing it in. Good. And on your next in-breath, I want you to imagine that you're deepening your relaxation and you're going down into an even deeper level. And allow this wave of relaxation to travel down your face, down into your jaw, into your neck, in the back of your head. Relaxing the muscles all the way in your back and your tummy. And you notice your breathing is growing freer and deeper and more relaxed. Good. And just let go of the outside world, whatever happened today, just being right here in this moment. This is your time. Be right here. And notice how you're feeling comfortable and serene. Your upper legs, your lower legs, and your feet. Feeling that deep, deep peace. And your emotions, your circuitry, your energy circuitry is growing calmer and more and more tranquil. And it's becoming crystal clear and very still, like a mountain lake, calm and quiet, crystal clear. And you're able now to receive and connect with the energy of your divine inner being, your soul, your guides, your guidance team, as you drop into the stillness, into this different frequency and resonance. And you're allowing your own thoughts and feelings and allowing all of your intuitive clairs to be open. And I want to ask you right now to just hold the intention to imagine, to ask your soul, your divine inner being to join you now. And just imagine that. And as you connect with this divine part of yourself, notice you're feeling yourself rising, lifting up a little bit, like there's a higher resonance frequency that's happening into your body, to your physicality. And the view here is expanded, it's vast, and the energy is much more refined. Colors are beautiful. And you know in an instant, beyond intellect, that this is the space of divine universal knowing. And you are increasing your resonance and frequency and your vibration to connect and match with your inner being, with your soul. And you notice that your divine support team and your inner being are beginning to lift you into these expanded realms or elevations or feelings, to link you and to connect you with the universal mind. And you can play in this energy field where all knowledge is known, where all information can be found. And your mind right now is beginning to sync up and be in the resonance and harmony of the universal mind. Feel that. And with respect and humility, ask your inner being and your team, your divine support team, to support you, to bring forth and make very visible any stifling beliefs that you have about attracting money into your life, any that are stifling you or stop you. Just bring that forward in this moment. any thought around or connected to something you would like to change around your financial circumstances. Opening your heart and your mind and asking for divine guidance from this place of all knowing, knowing that you have all the answers to your questions. And allow it to come into your mind, that belief that you hold that created the situation and circumstance that you'd like to change. Take a look at that belief. Don't judge yourself. Look at it from that observer, this divine perspective. You chose that to learn and to grow. So what would you have to believe? And what would need to be true to have created the circumstance that you want to change? And just let this energy come up and show you. And just let that belief or any images or energies around them, we're going to now let them dissolve. Maybe you even see yourself taking an eraser and erasing them, or hitting the delete button on your phone, right? And ask this divinely connected part of you to give you a replacement belief, something to put in place of that. Ask for a new statement of belief or a new thought that you could now call your truth in this area of your life. Say this new thought to yourself. Make sure it's in the present tense. And I just want you to sink into this energy for just a moment to build this. Good. I want you to feel the truth of this new energy that you are implanting or embedding or connecting, replacing, repatterning. And we're going to do this. We're going to integrate this belief by working with a cellular level. So I want you to just imagine that you're connecting with the cellular level of your body. And just by imagining, you're doing that. And you're going to travel into the very center of your cells, into the DNA, the genetic code that forms your body, emotions, and mind. And you have the ability now to communicate with this level of your being, to ask it to release those beliefs. Imagine you're getting smaller and smaller, growing tiny, 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 until you're able to put your awareness into the center of your cells. And you are now talking and meeting with the DNA, the director of the life force energy, of the genetic blueprint of your entire being. Imagine that along with you, all your guides and divine support team and your ancestors are now supporting you in reprogramming these beliefs to build them into you on a cellular level. Take some deep breaths and allow this energy work to happen. And just imagine it is so, right? One by one, take the new belief that you have, that statement, and see it in your reality. And ask the director, the DNA, the divine within you to reprogram your genetic code to now incorporate these new beliefs and thoughts into the very core of your being. Make this request humbly and with respect now. And utilizing the universal law of action, we ask if there's any movement that you could take to plant and embrace these empowering beliefs within you that you've just created. Allow any movement or action to come forward in your mind. Maybe it's one baby step. Maybe it's resting and not doing anything. Just trust whatever comes forward, because you are the source of your abundance. You are the one who can create whatever you want, because you are energy. You are divine energy. You and your soul and the divine within you, and you connecting with your guides, gives you the ability to tap into unlimited abundance, the infinite abundance of the universe. And as you change and allow these new beliefs to become concreted into your mind, your entire reality will change. Good. Now we're going to be coming back in a moment. And as you do, you're going to be full of insights. You will remember clearly the new beliefs that you want to energize. You will connect with them daily. And those beliefs will now stand out more clearly to you. You'll find it easy to acknowledge those beliefs and to sync up and to magnetize vibrationally and harmonically with them to create and have what you desire in the realm of money. So coming back, allow your body to feel supported, maybe stretching your arms, opening your eyes, wiggling your fingers, taking some breaths. How's everybody? Yeah, sleepy time.
That was beautiful.
So even if it seems silly that you think, oh, how in the world can I work with my cellular energy, right? Everything is energy. You can connect and deliberately direct yourself, right? Even that's why we so often will say, imagine, pretend, because our logical mind wants to come in and go, what? Right? We've had so many scientists prove this, right? So we now know it, and we're going to be smart enough to use it. Did you have anything there?
I got nothing. I just wanted to make sure there's no extra questions. We're going to be back in 2 weeks with 2 other grads from ICT. And if any of you have any questions, feel free to reach out to either Lynette or I, right?
Yes.
Privately. And I just want to make sure there's no questions. Everything is good.
Okay, everybody feeling okay? Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sharon, thank you again,
Yeah, thank
honey,
you, Sharon.
for devoting in your time, because I know how busy your schedule is.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for taking that time out of your busy schedule for us.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. My pleasure.
Thank you. We'll be back in 2 weeks. We'll have a lot of fun. I'll probably see some of you before then, and Lynette will probably see some of you before then. So very
See you.
relaxed. Awesome. Awesome idea. Thank you guys.
Bye,
We'll see you in 2 weeks. And
Great.
sending you big love, everyone.
Good.
Ciao, honey. Ciao,
Bye.
Sharon. Big
Love
Sharon.
you guys.
Love you
Bye.
guys.
Thank you. Love you guys too.
Oh, wait. Hi, ladies. I tried to sign up for the course.
What happened, Rhonda? Oh, go ahead. Do you want me? Yeah. Do you want to
Yes,
just
that's a
unmute yourself?
recording. You stop it.
Sorry, I didn't want to like,
That's
you
okay.
can
You're
go.
fine.
I just wanted to make note. I emailed like probably a few weeks back and I haven't heard anything
Oh,
through the
okay.
website. But I just wanted to put it out there that I did try to register for the course. Maybe I didn't do it right. So
Oh my
Weird.
gosh.
I didn't get anything.
Would make sense.
Yeah, let me double check.
I'll try again. But
Okay.
just so you know, I'm trying.
Okay.
And thank you for telling us, because it could be some of our energy that we are shifting and moving through,
Yeah,
and that
that is energy.
the button can be pressed, you know?
Thanks, Rhonda. I'll double check on that too. So I'm
Thank
sorry.
you. Thank you. We appreciate that.
Thank you,
Sure.
ladies.
Thanks for that.
Okay, bye.
Bye, guys.
Emily.
Sending everyone a
Okay,
big love. See ya.
bye-bye.